Ever snag one of those crazy online deals and think, wait, why did I just buy a 10-pack of glow-in-the-dark dog collars?
Right.
Today, we're diving deep into why online group buying works, like what's going on in our brains that makes us click buy when we see that countdown timer.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
We've got this awesome 2012 study from Computers and Human Behavior, and it's all about the psychology behind group buying. Not just the discounts, but like trust, community, that fear of missing out. You know that feeling when everyone's raving about a new restaurant and you just have to try it?
Oh, totally.
This study says something similar is happening with group buying.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is that this study uses social exchange theory.
Okay.
Basically, it means we're hardwired to look for those I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine situations.
Even when we're shopping online.
Even then.
So, like, we're weighing the benefits against the costs with every purchase.
Exactly.
Even if it's just for a discounted electric toothbrush.
Exactly. And with online group buying, the benefits go beyond just the price tag, right? There's this whole social element at play, too.
Okay, now we're talking the social element. Tell me more.
Well, the study found that trust is absolutely huge E in online group buying.
Makes sense.
You need to trust the platform, the vendor, even the other people on the deal.
It's like this unspoken agreement.
Exactly, like we're all in this together.
Which actually makes total sense. You're way more likely to buy something online if it has a ton of positive reviews.
Oh, for sure.
It's like you're trusting the wisdom of the crowd, you know?
Precisely. And that feeling is even stronger with group buying. Because you're not just trusting the seller. You're trusting the whole system. You're trusting that the deal is legit, that the platform will have your back if something goes wrong.
And that you're not the only one who thinks those LED slippers are a steal.
Exactly.
It's like social validation for our shopping carts.
Right. And this actually ties into another key finding from the study. Satisfaction with the overall experience was the biggest predictor of whether someone would do group buying again.
So if you have a good experience, you're more likely to come back for more,
Yeah.
even if the product isn't, like, perfect.
That seems to be the case. It seems like the thrill of the deal, that sense of community, the satisfaction of being part of the in-group
The in-group.
who snagged that amazing offer, it all adds to a positive experience.
It's like we're programmed to want those I was there moments.
Yeah, yeah,
Even if it's just for a flash sale on noise-canceling headphones.
totally. And it goes even deeper than bragging rights. Like, this study also looked at reciprocity.
Okay, reciprocity.
Yeah, like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Right, like leaving a good review for a local business.
Exactly. But with online group buying, information itself becomes a kind of currency.
Whoa, hold on. Information as currency? How does that work?
Okay, so think about those Facebook groups. You know, the ones dedicated to finding crazy good deals.
Yeah, I think I've seen those.
People share their insider tips, coupon codes, even just warnings about products to avoid.
Right.
That shared knowledge, that feeling of we're all in this together, it's valuable. It builds trust. Makes people feel like they're part of something.
So by contributing to the group, by sharing information, you're actually increasing the value of the group.
Exactly. And that makes you feel more confident in your own purchases, even if you're buying something completely random.
It's like social proof for my questionable online shopping habits.
Exactly. And, you know, the study actually looked at that whole wanting to look good thing, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they called it reputation.
Reputation. Okay.
Like the idea that we might participate in group buying to seem cool or trendy.
So are we all just a bunch of clout chasers?
Yeah.
Trying to impress each other with our group bought goodies?
Well, surprisingly, reputation didn't play as big a role as they expected.
Interesting. Why not?
They think it might be because the platforms back then, they weren't designed for feedback the way eBay or Amazon are now.
Yeah.
Like back then, it wasn't as easy to publicly show off your amazing finds.
Huh. So maybe things have shifted since then.
It's definitely possible. Like imagine if those early platforms had features to share your group buys with friends or post reviews that everyone could see.
Oh, yeah.
That might have made reputation a bigger deal.
Makes you wonder how the evolution of these platforms has changed our motivations, you know?
For sure.
Like, are we more driven by reputation now that online shopping is so normal?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting question. But
Yeah.
going back to the study, there's one more finding I wanted to touch on.
Okay, hit me with it.
This one's about the vendors. Turns out it wasn't just about offering the cheapest price. Vendor creativity, how innovative the products or deals were, it played a huge role too.
So it's not just about the deal itself, but the story behind the deal, the newness factor.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. The study found that vendor creativity directly influenced consumers' intention to buy, even more than their satisfaction with past experiences.
Wait, really? You're telling me that a brand new gadget, even if it's something I didn't know I needed, can be more appealing than a product with tons of glowing reviews?
That's what they found. It seems we're wired to be intrigued by something new, exciting, something we can't find anywhere else.
But isn't that kind of risky? Wouldn't you be more careful with a brand new product from a seller you've never heard of?
You're right. You're right. And that just shows how complex human behavior is. Like, the study doesn't totally answer that, but it does raise an interesting question.
What's that?
Is the thrill of the deal, that pull of something new, enough to outweigh our natural caution?
Like this internal tug of war, ooh, shiny new thing, versus, wait, is this a scam?
Yeah, exactly. And that tension is part of what makes online group buying so interesting.
For sure. And speaking of interesting, if vendor creativity was such a big deal back then, I wonder how things have changed now.
It's a great question. I mean, think about it. Online shopping has exploded since 2012.
Totally.
What was considered vendor creativity back then might be totally normal now.
It's like the online equivalent of been there, done that.
Yeah, exactly. Today's group buying pro, they might be looking for more than just a novel product. They want a deeper discount, a brand story, a sense of exclusivity.
So it's less about the what and more about the why now, huh?
Exactly.
Consumers, especially group buyers, they want more than just a good deal.
That's true.
They want to feel connected to something.
It goes right back to that social exchange theory.
Right, right.
It's about getting the most out of those intangible benefits.
Totally. It's like, okay, yeah, I want the discount, but I also kind of want to feel good about this purchase.
Exactly.
Like, where's my money going? What does this say about me?
We want to belong,
Mm-hmm.
make smart choices, be part of something bigger.
Even if that something is just a year's supply of organic soap.
Exactly.
Like, we're hardwired for deal-driven FOMO. And honestly, who can blame us? It feels good to be part of the in-crowd that snags that limited time offer.
Absolutely. And, you know, even though it's from a while back, this study really gives us a framework for understanding that.
It does.
It shows how online group buying, even with all its little quirks, really taps into our social instincts.
In a way that regular online shopping just doesn't, right?
Exactly.
Wow. This deep dive really got me thinking about the psychology behind online shopping. Makes you wonder, like, how are these platforms going to evolve?
Yeah.
Will they get even more sophisticated in the way they, like, play into our desire for connection, for information?
Absolutely.
Oh, and for a killer deal.
Of course.
Hmm.
Will they find new ways to create that community feeling? New ways to feed our need for something new, something that makes us feel like we belong.
So interesting.
The future of online group buying, it's going to be fascinating to watch unfold.
It really is. So next time you see one of those can't miss group buys, really think about what's going on in your brain.
Yeah.
Are you drawn to the deal itself, the community? Maybe a little of both.
Right.
Because as we've learned today, it's rarely just about the product.
It's about the whole experience.
It really is.